Aleksandar-Kристijan Golubović is a Serbian organized criminal and mixed martial artist. He was featured among several other Belgrade gangsters in the 1996 documentary about Serbia's underworld titled See You in the Obituary. Kristijan is one of only a few individuals, out of dozens featured in the film, still alive today. After spending 4.5 years in prison in Pozarevac, he was released on January 9, 2009. As of January 2010, he is in police custody again after getting arrested on a charge that he was involved in narcotics trade. Biography, Early Life, 1980s, born to Spoljubkija Golubovija and Milanka Mima Golubovija, Serb gastarbeiters living in Munich, Kristijan did not meet his father until grade school since he was away serving a long-term prison sentence for taking part in a robbery with deadly outcome. His mother was a stewardess at JAT. His father was imprisoned in Golubović prison. His godfather was Ljuba Zemunac, a notable mafia boss. In the mid-1980s he befriended Jaka Amsterdam. In 1985 he befriended a Greek businessman whom he met through his godfather Ljuba Zemunac in Frankfurt. He returned to Serbia with his mother and sister in 1987. They moved first to Zvezdara and then Jerkovic 50 and Vo 3/4 Dovac. Already no stranger to various juvenile delinquent activity, Golubovija continued along the same path with street fighting, often involving knives and guns. He also started painting. In December 1987, Kristijan beat up a patron at a kafana in Bolia. In May 1989, he instigated a fist fight versus Slavomir Pjaduc Mijovia in front of Disco Luv in the Belgrade neighborhood of Vo 3/4 Dovac. Mijor Pjaduc's bodyguard Zafet Dar 3/4 Mibiljuku began firing shots at Kristijan, hitting him in the legs. Later that year, in October 1989, Kristijan initiated a brawl at the Branko Krsmanović club leading to several shots being fired as well. He soon graduated to organized crime and gang-related activity. 1990s, in the early morning hours of Sunday 25 February 1990, Golubovija was one of the perpetrators of an infamous act of violence in Belgrade's Hotel More 3/4 Estic. Along with his best friend at the time Dragan Gaji Nikolija, heavily armed Kristijan burst in the hotel's disco bar looking for a rival gangster. Since they didn't find him, 24-year-old Gaji and 20-year-old Kristijan shot up and ransacked the place, pretty much destroying it in the process before fleeing the scene. Since the hotel's disco bar was a favorite mobster hangout, the incident gained them quite a bit of notoriety in the underworld considering that many prominent and powerful mob figures were present to witness the shooting. To escape prosecution in Serbia, Kristijan went back to Germany, but soon found himself serving a 3-year sentence in Dar 1/4 Seldorf. In 1993, German authorities extradited him back to Serbia where he was wanted for a variety of criminal acts from the 1988 to 1990 period. He was friends with Milorad Ulemc, also known as Ljubica, and has said that though he maintained relations with Arkan through Ljubica, he was not one of Arkan's. When he escaped from the Belgrade court, Ljubica sent him to Idut, to the headquarters of the Serbian Volunteer Guard. There he was asked to fight for Arkan, but Kristijan has said that he declined. Arkan asked Kristijan to assassinate Serbian politician Vojislav Angstrom Alj, but he refused. Kristijan had the biggest golden necklace in Belgrade at 790 grams. Arkan then minted a necklace of 1 kilo and Kristijan ended up having a 2,860 grams of necklace with the inscription of Kristijan with an Orthodox cross of 1,200 grams. He has said that the two were rivals. He married and had a son while in Belgrade. He left Serbia for Greece to avoid prison. There he became the leader of a Yugoslav group that worked in Athens. Zafet Biljuku and Milorad Hawk were two of his companions. Kristijan Golubovija was featured in a 1996 documentary about Serbia's underworld called Vidimo se Uajiljgi that was filmed 1994–1996. He is one of only a few individuals, out of dozens featured in the film, still alive today. 2000s, in 2002 he escaped from Melandrino, a Greek prison where he was sentenced to 14.5 years for stealing 2 Mercedes-Benz cars, and an armed robbery. During his time in prison, He maintained a relationship with angstrom 1/2 ELJKO Raw 3/4 Nativia's daughter Anna Ulara Raw 3/4 Nativia. He said he wanted to marry her but the relation was short. He was flown with Jet Airlines to Serbia in April 2003 because of charges from 1993. He was arrested in Operation Sablja, the crackdown on organized crime in Serbia following the Prime Minister Zoran Milanović's assassination. He was arrested for being the leader of a criminal group that extorted 14,000 from a businessman from Sremska Mitrovica. The sentence was initially 6 years, but the case ended with 1.5 years. On the night of March 17, 2004, Kristijan and famous Serbian turbo folk singer Sikara Raw 3/4 Nativia gathered protesters in front of the government building in Belgrade to rally against the situation in Kosovo where more than 36 Serbian Orthodox churches had been burned the same day in an outbreak of organized ethnic Albanian violence against the Serb civilians in the province. He was sentenced on December 12, 2005 in the Special Court of Belgrade on illegal arms and racketeering charges. He had from April to June 2005 tried to extort 15,000 from an ex-police from Sremska Mitrovica and the extortion of 3,000 and stealing of gold jewelry from married couple and jewelers from Lazovac. He was first sentenced to 6 years but the court settled at 4.5 years in Po 3/4 Alvac. On January 9, 2009, he was released from the Po 3/4 Alvac prison where he had spent 4.5 years. He made a rap song together with Elliot Niadridi called Jak I Shivas. He was denied entry to Croatia in 2009 when he was going to fight in the Millennium Fighting Challenge MMA event held in Split. Mayor Zeljko Karam denied his entrance and police were ready to stop Kristijan if he would enter Croatia. Karam said he has a history of crime and suspicious relations with the criminal world is not welcomed to Split or Croatia, nor be a sport example. On January 16, 2010, Kristijan, his mother and 5 other members of his criminal group were arrested in Belgrade on charges of narcotics trade in Novi Pazar and Belgrade starting in August 2009. He and his 2 companions were intercepted at a drug exchange of 25 grams of heroin when they exited St. Mark's Church. He had the previous week been stopped by police who found 10 grams of heroin in his Toyota Land Cruiser. His friend in the car claimed the heroin was his and Kristijan was in arrest for 4 hours before being set free. His friend is awaiting trial. The police then searched his home and via NJICA and found a gun and ammunition without serials. In his mother's house a Beretta was found. He is to be sentenced for narcotics trade, illegal arms and explosive possession. They are all currently in the Central Prison of Belgrade. He tried suicide by hanging in his cell the days following the arrest. The motive of the suicide attempt was that he felt devastated that he had caused the arrest of his mother who had nothing to do with this. She is quoted as having said I should have aborted you. He shares cells with Eli's gang leader Darko Elias and Zemun clan hitman Nikola Baja. His wife was briefly held in March for the finding of a landmine in her car. In December 2010 he was sentenced to 7 years. Personal life: in 1993 he appeared on the album Zbogom, Srbijo by Serbian band Iblja Ilba, singing with band's frontman Bora Orleva in the song Kamenko I Kremenko. Mixed martial arts record, references. External links, official site, professional MMA record for Kristijan Golubović from Shadog, documentary See You in the Obituary full movie, interview with Kristijan Golubović on Palma Television.